but we're not going to start it till a minute. Let it build up to people that we know or whatever. So let me refresh this. Nope. I'm just loading in. I gotta see if maybe it'll pick the same one as you, because I know it does that sometimes. I got a lot of friends that play Grand Theft Auto. Just buy those like bull shark cards or whatever. Play it. Alright, are you able to stop that download though? Okay. Well, you don't have to delete it. You could have just turned whatever it was off. Now I just need to add my camera. There we go. I want it to be lower left, medium, no, large. What does it see? There we go. We gotta. You're foggy. You fat foggy face. I'm such an asshole. I'm such an asshole. It's fluffier, he says. Oh, you're amazing. I love you. You're like super sexy guy. There we go. I need it to face though, like when I'm playing and I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, man, with my fucking shitty ass beard. I got the worst fucking beard ever, as in non-existent, but patchy as shit. Wait, I can change the background? What? Ah! What? Oh, auto cutout just completely like removes me. Chroma key? What's that do? That's kind of cool that you can change that though. There we go. There we go. Well, I'm in Grand Theft Auto now, so we'll begin the broadcast soon enough. Oh, I can't see my map because my fucking face is covering it. My fat ass fucking face. I'm changing it. Upper right, size, small. I'll put it medium. Alright, so we'll begin in probably a few minutes. I'm live now. I'm just waiting for people to build up to it on the channel. And then we'll talk about all the shit that's been going on, actually. I should probably... Friend... Oh, wait, that's not how I do it. How do I fucking... I want to find you, see if you're in here. Down. There we go. Gallican, correct? Nope. Okay. Friends. What are you fucking doing? What? It's disabled because you haven't done the thing? God damn it. Like, we had no problem. It's just a glitch with the fucking game sometimes. Alright. I just gotta edit this thing so that way we can... when I export it to YouTube, I can cut out some things and stuff. Anyways, so let's get started on this thing. So, oh fuck, I gotta call. Anyways, so the first thing I guess is about Halo 4. I mean, might as well begin with Halo 4. That came out yesterday. Supposedly, I gotta turn this volume down. Sorry. Supposedly, it's been doing well on sales, but they haven't actually released any sales figures for it yet. Have you seen anything on that? Like, not the sales figures, but have you seen like any Halo gameplay or anything like that? Okay. I was watching some streams of it, so I was taking a look at like the multiplayer. The multiplayer does look kind of cool, but I guess I don't know. It's on Twitch. It's not doing as good as it used to. I know Halo 4 when it first came out was hitting like hundred thousands, and yet right now it's getting 25,000 last night, and it was getting absolutely destroyed by stuff like League of Legends and Dota. Fact is, I'm gonna pull up and take a look what the Twitch is doing right now. I mean, have you ever played any of the Halo games? You did? That's actually my favorite Halo. I fucking loved Halo 3, but Halo 4, it was alright. I never really played it online, though. I played a hell of a lot of Halo 3 online. Let's take a look at how it's doing, to tell you the truth. Games. Wow, currently it's at 14,000 viewers, and it's actually being beat by Destiny, FIFA, gaming shows, Arma, and then Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which is kind of sad because Black Ops 2 is the old one, and then Halo's only got 14. Well, the current one, Counter-Strike, is almost at half a mil. Yeah, there must be a tournament going on right now. Let me take a look. Yeah, there's a DreamHack going on right now. So they got CS:GO DreamHack, and but still, Halo 5 hasn't been doing well on Twitch, well, that I've seen. And then here is apparently last month, PS4 was still beating Xbox One in the September sales in US, even though Halo's coming out. So I'm not sure if Xbox One is going to get that kind of boost that it needs or not. And then here's something that's I came across, and I guess it's in the talks, which is what makes me mad. Actually, it's infuriating. Is Sony might be considering releasing a high-powered PS4, meaning a PS4 that has like better graphics card. They're looking at higher performance processors, and yeah. Personally, well, I mean, let's start with you. What do you think about that? They're looking at bringing out a new PS4 with more graphics and better processor and stuff. So it's like taking the PS4 that we currently have and upgrading it, and they're talking about doing that. And what do you think of that, though? Well, I mean, they always release like a slimmer like edition of it, but they've never like it's almost it's hard to describe. It's like the 3DS to the new 3DS. Do you understand what I mean by that? Yeah, so it just seems to me that like there's going to be PS4 games if it comes out with this new console of the PS4 that will require the new PS4 over the old PS4. So it kind of makes me feel like I got to buy another system. I don't know. It's in the talks right now, and personally, I hope they don't do that. But yeah, and then of course, as we all know, this is actually the one I've been excited for is about Fallout 4. Well, Fallout 4 looks absolutely amazing. Have you been looking up anything about Fallout 4? Like the graphics on it look absolutely amazing. And then I hear, or what they say, I guess, is that the robot that you have, Mr. Handy, he's programmed that you can type in your name and he'll say it. Yeah, so like for example, my name's Jordan, and or if I doubt it would put if I put in Moomix, it would actually say Moomix. But if it does, I think I'd be fucking amazed. Like, it would be like the game of the year right there if it could actually recognize Moomix. It'd be like, "Hello, Master Moomix." But no, like the amount of I've taken a look at a video actually for Fallout 4, and in Fallout, like the person was using the bat with like a perk that's in also in the Fallout Vault game that makes melee weapons do double damage or something like that, and he was just blowing fucking people's heads off. I noticed that they also added an option where you cannot crit. Like you have a choice whether to crit or not. Yeah, it was a little thing on the bottom there. It showed that you can choose, like, as he was swinging the baseball bat at somebody, there was like press A for the critical. So I'm wondering if that, like, if we can actually, choose whether to critical or not, which I personally I think would be amazing, because there's always been like those fights where I don't want to kill somebody, or at least in Fallout 3 there was. I'm not sure about Fallout 4, but that's coming out in fucking, what is it, a week from this Tuesday coming up? Yeah. Yeah, and then I found it hilarious that they actually ran out of the Pip-Boy edition so fast. And the reason that they're not producing anymore is because the factory said enough is enough, because I guess that they only made set contracts for a certain amount, and then they kept coming back saying, I want, 20 more, 30 more, 40 more, type of thing. So, well, not 30. If they ordered it in 30 amounts, that's fucking retarded. But I guess they said that enough was enough because they had to produce other things, so that's why the Pip-Boys ran out. Which kind of sucks because I actually didn't get my Pip-Boy edition. My sister, for my birthday, pre-ordered, Fallout 4 for me, but they were, out of Pip-Boy editions. Which I think is a neat idea. I mean, I'm not going to die without a Pip-Boy, but it's neat that you can put your phone in there and use it with the game. And, well, have you seen the Pip-Boy? Yeah, oh yeah, like the Pip-Boy edition of the Fallout, which sold out, I think, in a day, uh, was you put your phone in there and it syncs with your PS4, and it's got the whole Pip-Boy version. I think it looks like the 3000 from 3. I don't know the exact edition of it, but they got the whole Pip-Boy armband that you wear, and your phone's in there, and it interacts with the PS4, so like you can look at your Pip-Boy on your arm and you see like your limb damage like it was in Fallout 3, or you can go and use your touchpad and stuff to find other things like your items, stim packs, and all that. So it's a really neat idea, though I'm not sure if I'd actually use it, to tell you the truth. It's cool. I'd use it for a bit, but I'm not sure if I would actually use it. Oh, I know. I'd love to get myself a Pip-Boy edition just for the whole collector edition value. And then, I can't stress enough. And there's been so many different Fallout 4 videos being released recently. I would hope that people who are Fallout fans that are currently watching have seen some of them. They're slowly releasing these little videos and stuff, and I'm so fucking psyched. It's fucking crazy as shit. Like, I can't even explain. I mean, it's taking place in Detroit, isn't it? Man, Boston. Yeah, I don't know United States very well, as you can tell, because I'm Canadian, one of them Canucks. And all right, well, let's move on past Fallout. Nintendo tomorrow is announcing its first smartphone game, which is what Nintendo has talked about in the past. They were looking at possibly, if console sales weren't keeping up, switching over to strictly to mobile. Yeah, so, and then of course there's been talks that they might make a Nintendo phone, almost like what Sony did with their phone, but I don't think that would actually go over too well. But, well, kids would probably buy it, wouldn't you think? But, well, you know what? I think that would be amazing. I mean, what kind of games, if they were to release for phone? Like, they're announcing the first one tomorrow. If they were to announce one game, what would it be that you'd want? Okay, just list off what you want on your phone then. Like, what would you seriously buy on your phone if they released for your phone? Yeah. Is there any other? Okay, so you're a big Mario fan, are you? Well, when I was a kid, I mean, I played like Mario 1 on the NES and all that. I like Mario. I find that they're kind of beating a dead horse now, but if I was to ask for any games to be available on my smartphone, I would actually ask that the new Fire Emblem. I think the new Fire Emblem on my phone. Well, do you play the Fire Emblem games? No, really. Fire Emblem is one of those games that once you buy, you just fall in love with the whole fucking series. I've been playing it since Nintendo had it on the Game Boy Advance, and but I had an SP at the time when it came out. And there's a new one coming out, as people know, and it's coming out in two editions. The two editions, I believe, are black and white, and the editions are basically your care. If you buy the, I'll just continue with the saying. They come out like each path you choose. There's two paths you can choose, like two sides, and that's the difference between black and white. And the introduction's all the same for everybody, but it's going to be like you pick which path predetermined unless you buy it online. Apparently, if you buy it online, you don't have to pick your edition right away. You can just buy the deal, like the game, and then as you select your path, it will choose for you. So whatever choice that you make after playing the tutorial or the introduction will be, the one that your 3DS will download, and then you have to purchase the other one if you want the other choices. But so I mean, I'm kind of actually irked about that. That's what they're doing in Japan. I'm not sure if that's how it will fly over in America, but that is the one game on a smartphone that I would honestly ask Nintendo produce. But I mean, we'll find out tomorrow what it's going to be. I'm presuming it's going to be a Mario game, probably a classic port like Mario 64. I mean, Mario 64 always did well, so I think that could be that would be my guess. It's going to be something Mario, I think. It has to be Mario related. For Nintendo on the smartphone. I'm not sure if maybe it's like one of those editions where you it's the classics maybe, like a classic pack. I wouldn't mind like ports of the very old Nintendos. You know what I mean? Like the old Nintendo games, like Super Mario World, like which on the Super Nintendo, which was amazing by the way. But like Mario 1, Mario 2. Hmm. Super Mario RPG. I don't think I've played that. Wh- Oh wait, are you talking about Paper Mario? Seriously? I've never heard of that, and that's well. I mean, again, I got burnt out of Mario, but I didn't know that Mario had an RPG. I knew that I played like Paper Mario back on the Nintendo 64, and Paper was it Nintendo 64? Yeah, I think it. Yeah, and that was an RPG Mario game. But it was super really, really. That kind of reminds me back when I got the Inuyasha game for PS2. I thought I was getting enough money for Christmas, so I asked for the game and I was going to buy the console. And I didn't have enough money for the console. I was hella pissed. And then I did get the console and found out I needed a memory card. So every time I had to turn my console out, I would leave it on, but like power would go out. I'd have to restart everything, which which was ass. I think just Oh, it was so annoying, but I loved it. I mean, I was a huge Inuyasha fan when I was a kid. That and Gundam Seed, that was like my introductory animes that I got into. And then it became like Friday nights on YTV and Inuyasha nights. But we're getting off track here, I think. The next thing that's coming out, which is also on Fallout Day, which is kind of giving me issues, is the new StarCraft expansion. I know you don't know too much about StarCraft. I'm trying to get you introduced to it as of recently. But yeah, the StarCraft 2 expansion, which is supposed to be the third and final and conclusion to the StarCraft series, is coming out on the same day as Fallout, which is November 10th. And sadly, I got to work that day, and I got two fucking games I got to play. It's balls. Like, I'm pissed. Like, it looks amazing. You're going to be playing as the Protoss. Because, well, I mean, they did the Terran, which was the first StarCraft 2. Then came the Zerg. And now it's the Protoss, which is going to be the conclusion for 2. Whether or not they're going to make a StarCraft 3, I don't think we'll see that anytime soon. Because the StarCraft 1 was a competitive sport, and StarCraft 2 came out like 10 years later. So I don't see StarCraft 3 after that, but... So, I mean, I'm hella hyped for it, but truthfully, I don't know if I'm going to play that or Fallout 4 that day. I'm probably going to have to play... I'm going to have to go with Fallout just because... It's hard. No, it's not that it's a bigger game. It's that, like, I'm a huge StarCraft fan, but I play a lot of, like, the online multiplayer stuff, but that's... You know, multiplayer I can do. I don't know. I really don't know. I just decided Fallout. I was like, yeah, I gotta get the Fallout, man. I gotta do that stream, like, all fucking, as much as I can, at least. But, oh, now we're on the Fallout again. Like, we're huge Fallout fans. And I'm hella pissed I didn't get that Pip-Boy edition. Like, they fucking sold out. Another thing that's coming out after the StarCraft 2 and Fallout is one that I'm also waiting for, is the Hunters of Old. That is the Bloodborne DLC. So I'm hella excited for it. What about you? I know. Oh, why don't you tell them about your little GameStop story, huh? It was. He told you it was like the day after. I think it was last Friday. Yeah, no, not next week. It's like next month at the time. So apparently, they are adding, like, there's only been a little bit of spoilers about the game. Some of the new things, or one of the new weapons that they have mentioned is the bow. Uh, what do you mean? Yeah, then, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know what it actually switches into, but apparently there's also going to be, I think they said there was going to be 6 new weapons at it, but they haven't revealed what they are yet, and people, you know, so, uh, oh, yeah, here, let me take, well, so, why don't you repeat that while I'm taking a look at the old hunter weapons? Okay, here they are. Okay, so the official name so far that we know of is Simon's Bowblade. That's the bow weapon. So let me take a look, see what it turns into. It's a trick weapon. It's going to be introduced, of course. There are 3 versions of the weapon: normal, uncanny, and lost. The only difference being the gem imprints and the locations in which they're found. I wonder how that's going to all work out. But it's a one-handed blade to a great bow. Yeah, so I take it it's just going to be like a one-handed, like a short sword, maybe, you think? Or no, it would probably have to be a long sword if it's a bow. And then there's unofficial names, like we don't know the names of the weapons, so people have given them unofficial names, but one of them is the round chainsaw hammer. I not seen it. To tell you the truth, it sounds absolutely brutal. From what I can imagine, is I'm thinking like a chainsaw that has that turns into a hammer, perhaps, or it's a chainsaw that instead of using teeth, it uses hammers. Long. Yeah. Okay. Here's one. Is a beast cleaver. Is one of the trick weapons that's coming out. It is equivalent to the threaded cane. There are three versions again of this type. So the gem imprints and locations of which they're found, we don't know what it transforms into. Apparently, at least it doesn't say here. But apparently, they're saying it's a flailess bat to a threaded club. Club. Yeah. Truthfully, it just sounds kind of weird to me. But I mean, I'm not sure if you imagine anything cool about it. But yeah. And then apparently they're adding the improved. I don't know why it's listed as a weapon, but they're saying that the improved Beast Claw combo slash Max Beast Claw combo. That's so. Have you actually used the Beast Claw in the game? Really? It's in one of the chalices for beating a boss, apparently. But I've seen some really powerful builds using that, so I guess they're gonna perfect that. And then Electric Cleaver's coming in, which it was in the footage of the trailer taken from the Game Awards of 2014 co-op gameplay trailer, it says. So I guess that never made it into the main game, but it's coming back and it's going to be in the hundreds of old. And this is something that I'm actually hoping that it's in there. I don't know if this is official or not, but a shield and sword. I would. Yeah, and I mean that kind of reminds me of like Dark Souls 2, which I mean I love Bloodborne, but Dark Souls 2 is definitely my preference because it's got more of a you can create your character the way you want it to be compared to Bloodborne, where there's only like, well, depending on the weapons, that's the only types, I guess, like character builds. Whereas like in Dark Souls, you can dual wield great swords if you wanted to. So I mean, have you played Dark Souls 2, bud? Yeah, I got it for the. Oh, I same. Go ahead. Yeah, I got it for the PS4. Like I got the Scholars of Sin edition on the PS4. I heard bad things about the PC copy, so I kind of avoided it. But yeah, I prefer that over Bloodborne. But maybe the sword and shield is just what I wanted, though. I mean, I want the ability to block. I didn't want to have to always dodge. I want. Well, I mean, you can riposte if you know like the actual attack times, but I like the idea of block and then attack. That's just kind of my style. So I mean, I always wear like the heavy armor. Next thing I guess is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I guess that hasn't been doing too well either. I mean, the question I have to ask, I guess, is it not doing well because of Unity, or is it just not a good game? Uh, yeah. Well, I've played every single one of them up to Unity. After I heard all the problems about Unity, I never bothered. Uh, but the reason I brought up actually Assassin's Creed is because of the new GameStop commercial that's Assassin's Creed. You guys should actually look it up. Have you seen it? It is hilarious. Basically all it is GameStop employees acting like they are in Assassin's Creed. So they got like cardboard tubes and stuff and fake desks, all that shit. So it's actually kind of funny. I really enjoyed it actually. And then, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, after Unity, like I said, I shied away. I'm not actually happy with the way the story works out in Assassin's Creed. The whole virtual reality crap, like recalling the past. I would have preferred it if it was just a story involving the assassins and not this whole like Devin. Cut out the whole modern day Devin Osman, whatever his name is, crap, and just make me an assassin. That's the only thing I want. I don't want these out of scene things where I'm in the modern day walking around with a fucking tablet hacking people's computers. Like seriously. I play Assassin's Creed for the assassin. Yeah. And then what is it? Apparently this is kind of interesting that was told is that like the virtual reality stuff that's been coming out. Apparently the United States Marines are starting to use that stuff for training. Yeah, they're reporting that they're using the tech to train soldiers to theoretically any environment. So I've never heard of them using virtual reality for flight simulators. Now here's the question I gotta ask: are they using Project Morpheus? Do they have their own, or are they using the Xbox's version? I can't remember what the Xbox one's name off the top of my head, but oh, virtual reality for doctors. You know what? I don't think I could actually trust a doctor. Like if he just came out of medical college and he's like, and they use virtual reality to train them for surgery. I don't think I would be comfortable with that. As much as tech, yeah, no, I mean, I see the benefits of it, I really do. But my only issues with all the, well, not really issue, but concern is that with all this new advancement in technology and stuff like that, you're just gonna all be teched up, and then there's gonna be doctors playing with my insides that have never actually fucking done anything. You know what I mean? Like, in virtual reality, the blood doesn't actually squirt on your face. Yeah, well, this is real life, buddy. But the fact that they're using it for training Marines, back to the main topic, is actually kind of interesting. I mean, has it been like, are they perfecting it that well? How would you train like for different environments using virtual reality? I mean, I understand that you'd have like the perceived senses of like your eyes, say in a desert and stuff, but there's no heat. The environment, like you're physically not there. You wouldn't feel the heat, the sand. You wouldn't be able to, you know what I mean? But then I have to ask, like, fuck, man, like we got Sony and Microsoft fighting over like who can produce the better virtual reality, while the U.S. government's got like the ultimate virtual reality already. Which is, I don't know. I mean, I wish they'd share the technology. Another thing is that apparently esports company Vulcan, which I've used, has closed up shop in Nevada. So is there apparently that's calling it gambling, which it is. I mean, you make bets on esports games, which I'm not gonna lie, I've actually lost quite a bit of money on Vulcan, trying to be a pro, like the Counter Strike games and stuff. So I guess Nevada's. I'm not sure if that's actually going to affect anything, but I guess they closed up shop there. So, and then there's a new game coming out, and it's called Beyond Soul. I've looked into it. It's like one of those space games, almost like Space Invaders, sorta, from watching it. But it's made by the old crew, the ex the ex BioWare developers Eric Fagnan, sorry, and Zachary Bourdoin. I'm not bad with French. I'm sorry, but so the ex-developers for BioWare, which of course produced Mass Effect, is launching this new game. Which, truthfully, I mean, I don't really know too much about it. Like, I watched the trailer, doesn't quite explain what it is, but anything with BioWare, even ex-BioWare, I'm actually interested in because I'm a really big fan of the Mass Effect series. Have you ever gotten into the Mass Effects? You've never played Mass Effect? You, sir, are not capable of this chat! Now go out there and get Mass Effect! Well, Mass Effect was an amazing RPG. Like the first one was fucking amazing, especially at the time. Second one was godlike, by the way. And then third one was great. I guess people didn't like the endings, which I thought was hilarious when they had to actually... Oh, apparently is available today, that Beyond Soul, so I gotta look into that. And then another thing that's interesting is Overwatch. You've heard about Overwatch, I presume, right? I mean, anybody's... Well, from what I understand, Overwatch is basically they had this huge project called Project Titan, which was secret for years, and they kept redoing it, and all this stuff. So eventually, I guess they decided that they were going to end Project Titan, so they scrapped it, and then they made Overwatch with what was left over, which is supposed to be a Team Fortress 2 style game. Have you played Team Fortress before? Yes. So it's supposed to be like that, but a little bit different. Now, it's been streaming. I have watched it. It looks interesting. It's supposed to be free, of course, like Heroes of the Storm and Team Fortress 2. But I've been watching that. I actually came across a game called Battleborn, which I'm actually more psyched for than Overwatch, which I think will actually kill Overwatch, in my opinion. It's like have you ever played League of Legends? Yeah, well, League of Legends, it's like that, but it's a shooter with different characters and abilities, like a first person. So so you level up, but like you do in League of Legends, it's in first person view, and it's a shooter, so like it continuously spawns the minions, and you're shooting and leveling up and stuff. But it's like League of Legends. What they're calling it is League of Legend meets fuck what's that game? Oh no, what's that? Borderlands. Sorry. Yeah, so it's supposed to be like League of Legends meets Borderlands, and it actually looks really neat. There's people out there doing the beta stream right now, and I would recommend anybody watching to go take a look at that. Uh, that game looks absolutely amazing, but you got to look that up, bro. It's coming out actually for the PS4 as well, and apparently coming out for Xbox One. So, well, I mean, it just looks like a fun game in general, even just not if you're streaming. It just looks, an FPS like League of Legends. I think that's got like the right combination to make it an MLG sport. So I am extremely, extremely excited for it. And then another thing, which I think is absolutely hilarious when I found out the announcement for it, but I also think is really ridiculous, is that there's a game coming out combining two games, Goat Simulator and Worlds of I Am Bread. Now, have you seen I Am Bread? Okay, so you know how stupid, weird that is. Have you seen Goat Simulator? Yeah, so actually, I just got it gifted on PC, but I've never played it, oddly enough. But yeah, so they're combining, I Am Bread and Goat Simulator to make a game. I don't know what it's. I think it's called Goat Bread. So yeah, it's called Goat Bread, and I mean, the trailer, all it shows is like the goat simulator goat with his tongue on the bread, being everywhere, like they're having a romantic dinner in the first scene. Like it looks actually really, really funny. And then another thing that's interesting, of course, Sony has invested tons of money into the upcoming virtual reality platform, PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR, of course, people may know it as Project Morpheus, which is the simulator that the virtual reality helm, basically. It was called Project Morpheus. It's actually nearing completion, and one of the titles that's going to be available is going to be apparently PlanetSide 2. Have you played PlanetSide 2 before? It just got released on PS4. It's basically a huge shooter with thousands of people in it and giant maps, and it's all like one server. So there's three factions, and they actually fight for territory, take like bases and so forth. So that's going to be one of the virtual reality titles that's coming out, and I'm hella. I don't know. I mean, we're back to the virtual reality thing this time instead of just talking about the Marines and stuff like that. Let's talk, just in virtuality or in general. Um, so it's going to have PlanetSide 2. I know that they've announced some other games. Like, I think Last of Us with virtual reality. I would, if they came out with The Last of Us with the virtual reality, like, goggles, I think I would get it. Have you played The Last of Us? Fucking amazing game. Like, that's a masterpiece. But if they released a virtual reality of The Last of Us, I think I would honestly buy it. Like, I mean, I'm iffy on the whole virtual reality thing. I mean, my whole entire life I've spent playing, on a TV, so the concept of having it on my eyes, like, I don't know, it seems like my eyes would explode eventually. But if they and I just don't think it would add too much to the game. Really, it's hard to describe. I mean, I'll probably end up getting it eventually, depending on the price. If they want $500 for it, they can forget it. Yeah, well, I just don't got the money to buy it. I mean, otherwise, I would love to have one. I mean, if it was given to me, I would absolutely use it. Though, there is one thing that I'm wondering with the virtual reality which could sell it for me, and that's the idea that it's just another monitor. Well, I mean, it'd just be like, a smaller TV, but it would appear big to you because it's closer to your face, right? So, like you can have it all set up. You have it on and you're playing your games like kind of like how I'm playing Grand Theft Auto right now. It just looked like, the TV screen, but, bigger. And, get rid of the whole turn your head right, your character turns its head right type of thing. Just, it's the TV screen. Now, if it did that, I would consider it, especially if you could like hook it up and watch like my Netflix on it, depending on the battery life. But I think that would be amazing, just to have the ability. I would consider it over buying a new TV. Truthfully, I mean, if it were to have that function where I can just play the game like I'm playing it right now, Grand Theft Auto, and it was, that's it. I would actually consider buying it over a TV. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah. The oh, someone said something. Sorry. But yeah, no, like I don't know, man. The whole virtual reality, like right now, it's like a virtual reality war, and I mean, I don't know who I'm going to side with. I guess clearly whatever one's better. I guess. I mean, truthfully, if I had it my way, I wouldn't mind an Android-based one instead of just like these, specific Sony and Microsoft. If I could have one that's Android-based, would be amazing. But yeah, no, if I can just watch it, that is my main concern. Like, I would honestly, I mean, if it could stream everything just as I fucking see it right now, but it would, I mean, clearly it would be bigger to me because it's closer to my face than my 32 inch. It'd be like having a fucking 80-inch TV, I guess it would be the perspective if you were to think about it. So, if that was the case for virtual reality, I honestly would buy it over a TV, and I think it would be great. So I mean that's my stance on virtual reality. If it just had the features that I can play my games as I do now, just it's a tinier screen on my face, so my parents they can watch whatever the fuck they want on the TV. Well, actually I don't have that problem because I have my own TV. I'm not 10 years old. But I mean, actually, you know what? Even speaking of that, when you think about it, like that could actually like if they were to forget the whole turn your eyes, left and right thing. I think that they just put the TV on a fucking screen on your fucking face, so it looks like it's huge. Then I think that would be the new TVs. I don't think we'll ever see TVs in houses anymore in like 20 years. What do you mean by turn it on and off? Oh yeah, yeah, they gave me the option for that, and they could, and then I could just do it like I'm doing now. Then I think that it would be amazing, and I would buy like Project Morpheus. Project Morpheus, like if it, like well, of course that's now known as PlayStation VR. I would buy it in a heartbeat if it had those two just select distinctive modes where I could just turn off the whole turn my head left and right, watch TV, and then that's gonna like if that option is there, then we're not gonna see TVs in homes anymore. I mean that's just a fact. So I'm actually kind of excited to see where this goes. I mean, Sony's invested a lot into this. It's apparently going to be releasing in the first half of 2016, and it's going to have 1080p LED screen. So it's a 1080p TV. That's I don't know the exact dimensions of the screen, but I mean that's like think about putting like up to your face, your smartphone, cover your like eye with it, and so I mean it'd probably be like a 12-inch screen. And it looks a little weird and clunky, but to you it'd be like having an 80-inch TV. So they've invested a. Oh, I know. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be replacing TVs they go that route. Sadly, both companies are also marketing it more so for the gaming industry and not for the home, everyday viewers. So I think if they just give me that offer, and I will be beyond happy about it, and I'll buy it instead of like a new TV. But they're focusing more on the whole gameplay aspect of everything, so it's kind of concerning me on that. Which is if it's only going to be on the PS4, just PS4 games and that's it, then I don't think I'd actually buy it. Now, apparently, it's also part of the VR thing is that it's doing 120 FPS it can go up to. I mean, it's nice. I mean, that's a lot of money invested into getting you those FPSs. But my issue is well, not really issue, but what I wonder is why would they want it so high when the eye can only detect up to like 30? So, well, I mean, it's cool. I mean, the idea of being able to project at 120 FPS. I mean, when I play Counter Strike, sometimes I can hit 200 FPS. But I mean, the eye doesn't really like even this broadcast right now that people are watching. Um, it's they can only see like the eye can only detect 30 FPS. So I find it odd that they're investing like so much into all these high FPSs when there's no results really that's noticeable. But I don't know. That's their choice on the VR. I think we should end the VR talk because it gets me both wound up and pissed. Like I like the idea, I just don't like how it's being executed. Yeah, and then what else is there? Oh yes, Kojima. Apparently, well, we all know that Kojima's been having problems with Konami. Konami wants to drop AAA titles altogether, so there won't be another Metal Gear Solid. Well, they find that the AAA, when you have a AAA title, it costs so much to develop, and then it's such a high risk whether you make your money back. Whereas if they were to focus, which is what they're thinking about, solely on, I guess they want to focus more so on phones or small games like that for phones and all that stuff. It's not as much money invested, but potential of high. Let's take a look at Angry Birds for example. I mean, the guy just invested his time. Well, I mean, everything's going microtransactions. There's no doubt about it. Microtransactions is here and it's gonna fucking stay. And as much as I don't like them, I'm just gonna have to learn to live with it. Like, there's so many microtransactions things out there, but yeah, Angry Birds started because Angry Birds was You know, was a lone guy. He kind of, I think he had well, he was part of a studio he made with his buddies, I think. But anyways, it costed him like, say like $800 to make it, and the profit margin of, the whole Angry Birds is like, multi-million dollars. So that's what their Konami's looking at. But anyways, so yeah, they're dropping AAA titles, and Kojima's still with them, but apparently he's left per se. Like he's disappeared. And there's a debate whether he's actually left the company because there was talk that he's leaving. But they're saying currently the official statement is he's on vacation, but there was a lot of talk about Kojima leaving because, Metal Gear Solid's done. I know he was kind of irked that he didn't get the budget he wanted for Metal Gear Solid 5. He calls the game incomplete. And if you played Metal Gear Solid 5, it's a great game. But the second half of it, you can tell for a fact that it's been, rushed at the end. Like, for example, the second half of the game, a lot of its new, like the so-called new missions, are repeats of the old missions, but with new modifiers added to them. So, for example, you can't be detected in this time around. So it's a rehash of the missions with just different parameters. So you can tell it was rushed, and Kojima wasn't happy about that, of course. I mean, Kojima being, as he is, Metal Gear Solid franchise itself has become absolutely huge. So, I mean, but he was kind of pissed off that they just told him that he had to rush the game out. So I guess he's had a lot of problems and he's considering leaving. Or not even sure if it's official yet, but he's announced and, he's pissed off and he might be leaving. Which sucks. I mean, truthfully, if that Metal Gear Solid 5 is the last Metal Gear by Kojima, I'm upset. I love Metal Gear Solid. And Kojima is like a fucking brilliant game designer. It'd be interesting to see what he moves on to, though. I mean, you haven't played Metal Gear Solid per se, have you? Yeah, so I mean, you don't really know the masterpiece behind Kojima. His work is gorgeous, but like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5, I think, put the nail in the coffin. And plus, Konami wants to drop the whole AAA game thing, from what I understand, because it's too much of a risk versus profit. So I don't know what would be left for Kojima. Oh, I know that he can come up with things, and I mean, we could also see that the Metal Gear Solid franchise itself being sold off to another company with Kojima going with them. I mean, I hope Kojima goes with them, otherwise it would be garbage. I think they would ruin it just like they did with the Halo. I mean, I don't know. I can't say that Halo's ruined per se. There are people out there that like Halo 4 and the way the direction it went. I mean, Halo 5 and Halo 4 certainly sold a shit ton of copies. But, I mean, to me, it's just, I don't know, Microsoft getting greedy? Because Bungie ended Halo 3 at the end of the whole entire war, and then Microsoft bought it, or whatever the fuck they did, and, now it's what it is now. So, I don't know. If that happens to Kojima, I'll be highly upset. And, anything you want to add before we end the whole, weekly game updates? Like, is there anything... Oh, man, I missed the Dark Souls 3 beta, and I was hella upset about that. Well, I didn't know that there were sign-ups actually in September for it. And when I found out, it was just like... So, alright, well, thank you very much for watching, guys, and we're going to post this on YouTube, and we'll see you next week. Oh, it's off now.